You know what my doctor told me last month? He said, I've never seen an 84-year-old with your energy levels. He couldn't believe I still garden for hours, travel overseas twice a year, and keep up with my 7 grandchildren. The truth? Just 3 years ago, I could barely climb the stairs without feeling winded. My joints ached constantly. I even started canceling lunch dates because I was too tired to leave the house. But everything changed when I discovered these simple 3-minute daily rituals I'm about to share with you. I'm not selling anything. No expensive supplements or complicated equipment. Just practical wisdom I've gathered over 8 decades of living, tested and refined through my own experience and conversations with dozens of fellow seniors who've reclaimed their vitality. If you've been feeling that your best years are behind you, I'm living proof that it doesn't have to be that way. The beauty of these rituals? They take just 3 minutes each. That's right, 3 minutes to potentially transform your energy levels, sharpen your mind, and help you move through your day with more ease. I do them first thing in the morning, but you can adapt them to whatever time works for your schedule. Let me start with my morning awakening ritual. Before I even get out of bed, I take 30 seconds to wiggle my toes and fingers, gently rotate my ankles and wrists. When I was younger, I'd jump out of bed and rush into my day. Now I know better. This gentle awakening signals to your body that it's time to get moving, increases circulation, and prevents that stiffness we often feel in the morning. After the gentle movements, I take 3 deep breaths, inhaling for a count of 4, holding for a count of 2, and exhaling for a count of 6. This simple breathing pattern activates your parasympathetic nervous system, reducing stress hormones and setting a calm tone for your day. Next comes my favorite part, gratitude. I place my hand over my heart and name 3 things I'm grateful for. Small things, like the birds singing outside my window, the warm bed I slept in, or the fact that I can still tie my own shoes. This might sound too simple to make a difference, but researchers at UCLA found that practicing gratitude actually reduces inflammation in the body. Imagine that. Just feeling thankful can physically affect your health. Now, before I leave my bedroom, I drink a full glass of water with a squeeze of lemon that I keep on my nightstand. As we age, our thirst sensation diminishes, making dehydration a serious concern. Many of the complaints I hear from fellow seniors, fatigue, dizziness, confusion, constipation, are often just symptoms of not drinking enough water. That morning, glass rehydrates your body after hours without fluid and jumpstarts your metabolism. The lemon adds a small dose of vitamin C and helps maintain a healthier pH balance in your body. Then comes my 3-minute mobility ritual. I stand beside my bed and do what I call my joint lubrication sequence. I start with my neck, gently turning to look over each shoulder 4 times. Then I roll my shoulders backward 4 times, then forward 4 times. I bend my knees slightly and rotate my hips in circles 4 times in each direction. I bend my elbows and rotate my forearms 4 times each way. I extend my arms and make circles with my wrists. Finally, I gently bend forward, reaching toward my toes, not to touch them, just reaching as far as feels comfortable. When I first started this sequence, I could barely move. My joints were so stiff that even turning my neck was painful. Now it feels like second nature. This ritual sends nourishing fluid to your joints, reducing stiffness and improving your range of motion throughout the day. It's like oiling a rusty door hinge. Suddenly, everything moves with greater ease. The next ritual focuses on mental clarity, what I call my brain wake-up. I open my bedroom curtains and let natural sunlight flood in. That morning light is crucial for regulating your circadian rhythm, which affects your sleep, energy levels, and even digestive health. While standing in that morning light, I do a simple cross-body exercise. I touch my right hand to my left knee, then my left hand to my right knee, alternating for 30 seconds. This cross-lateral movement strengthens the connection between the left and right hemispheres of your brain, improving coordination and cognitive function. I follow this with 30 seconds of naming items in a specific category. Monday might be fruits, Tuesday could be countries, Wednesday might be animals beginning with the letter S. This simple mental exercise activates different areas of your brain, creating new neural pathways and keeping your mind sharp. I've found it especially helpful for maintaining word recall and verbal fluency, which often decline as we age. After my brain wake-up, it's time for my energy ignition ritual. I stand with my feet shoulder-width apart and take 1 minute to do modified jumping jacks. Now, I don't actually jump. I simply step out to the side while raising my arms, then step back while lowering them. When I started, I could only do about 10 before needing to rest. Now, I can do 30 without stopping. This movement increases your heart rate, improves circulation, and floods your tissues with oxygen. It's the single most effective way I've found to shake off morning fatigue and feel instantly more energized. The final morning ritual is what I call my intention setting. I sit on the edge of my bed and close my eyes. I visualize myself moving through my day with energy and purpose. I see myself standing tall, speaking clearly, and engaging fully with the people and activities in my life. Then I say aloud, "Today, I choose vitality." Starting your day with this kind of positive intention actually primes your nervous system to follow through. It's not magic, it's neuroscience. You're creating a blueprint that your body and mind naturally work to fulfill. Now, these morning rituals take about 15 minutes total, but they've completely transformed my days. However, there are 2 more 3-minute rituals I practice later in the day that have been equally important for maintaining my energy. Around midday, usually after lunch, I practice my digestion boost ritual. This is when many of us experience that afternoon slump. Instead of reaching for coffee or sugar, I lie on my back on the floor with my knees bent. I place one hand on my belly and one on my chest. For 3 minutes, I practice diaphragmatic breathing, breathing deeply so that my belly hand rises while my chest hand stays relatively still. This type of breathing massages your internal organs, improving digestion and reducing the bloating and discomfort that often comes after meals. It also triggers your body's relaxation response, giving you a natural energy boost without the crash that comes from caffeine or sugar. In the evening, about an hour before bed, I practice my sleep preparation ritual. I turn off all screens, yes, that means the TV too, and dim the lights in my home. I sit comfortably and spend 3 minutes gently massaging my hands and feet. These areas contain thousands of nerve endings connected to your entire body. Massaging them triggers the release of endorphins, your body's natural pain relievers, while also signaling to your nervous system that it's time to wind down. I pay special attention to the space between my thumb and forefinger and to the arch of each foot. These are acupressure points that traditional Chinese medicine practitioners have used for centuries to promote relaxation and better sleep. Since starting this ritual, I've reduced my sleep medication by half, and I wake up feeling refreshed instead of groggy. Beyond these specific rituals, I've incorporated several 3-minute habits throughout my day that have dramatically improved my overall vitality. Every hour, I take a 3-minute break to move. If I've been sitting, I stand and walk around. If I've been standing, I sit and stretch. This hourly movement prevents muscle stiffness and improves circulation, keeping energy levels stable throughout the day. I also practice what I call mindful transitions. Before moving from one activity to another, whether it's going from reading a book to making dinner or from watching TV to getting ready for bed, I take 30 seconds to close my eyes and take 3 deep breaths. This mini meditation helps prevent the mental fatigue that comes from constantly shifting focus without pause. Another game changer has been my 3-minute social connections. Each day, I spend just 3 minutes calling or texting someone I care about, just to say hello, not to ask for anything or address any problems. These brief social interactions provide an amazing psychological boost. Research from Harvard University's long-running happiness study found that the quality of our relationships is the single biggest predictor of our health and happiness in older age, even more important than genetics, wealth, or social status. Let me share something personal. When my wife of 56 years passed away 4 years ago, I fell into a deep depression. My physical health deteriorated rapidly. My blood pressure spiked, my arthritis flared up, and I developed digestive problems that no medication seemed to help. I was convinced my body was simply falling apart because of my age. But now, I understand that grief was expressing itself through physical symptoms. It wasn't until I began these rituals, especially the social connections, that my health began to improve. I started reaching out to old friends I hadn't spoken to in years. I joined a weekly walking group in my neighborhood. I even started volunteering at the local library twice a month. These social connections gave me purpose, which in turn gave me energy. There's profound medicine in simply feeling needed and valued. Now let's talk about nutrition, but not in the way you might expect. I don't follow any strict diet. I don't count calories or completely eliminate food groups. Instead, I practice what I call mindful eating. Before each meal, I take just 30 seconds to look at my food, smell it, and express gratitude for it. This brief pause activates my digestive enzymes and puts my body in a state more conducive to proper digestion and nutrient absorption. I've also incorporated what researchers call time-restricted eating. I try to eat all my meals within a 10-hour window, say between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m., giving my digestive system a full 14 hours to rest overnight. This practice has dramatically improved my sleep quality and morning energy levels. When I started, I experienced hunger pangs at night, but my body quickly adjusted to the new schedule. One simple change that's made a huge difference is adding more color to my meals. I challenge myself to include at least 3 different colored foods at each meal, perhaps some red bell peppers, dark green spinach, and orange sweet potato. Different colored foods contain different phytonutrients, which support everything from eye health to immune function This simple approach ensures I get a wide range of nutrients without having to follow complicated guidelines. I've also become more intentional about my protein intake. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at processing protein, which can lead to muscle loss. I now make sure to include some protein at every meal, whether it's eggs at breakfast, tuna at lunch, or lentils at dinner. Within 3 months of increasing my protein intake, I noticed a significant improvement in my strength and stamina. Hydration remains crucial throughout the day. Beyond my morning glass of water, I keep a water bottle with me and sip regularly. I've turned hydration into a game. I put 7 rubber bands around my water bottle in the morning and remove one each time I empty it. My goal is to remove all 7 bands by evening. This simple visual reminder has helped me double my water intake. Let me tell you about the most surprising ritual I've discovered, what I call my laughter prescription. Each day, I spend 3 minutes watching or reading something that makes me laugh out loud. Sometimes it's a funny video of my great-grandchildren. Sometimes it's a comedy show. Sometimes it's those joke books I loved as a child. Laughter triggers the release of endorphins, decreases stress hormones, and even temporarily reduces pain. Since incorporating this ritual, I've noticed I need less pain medication for my arthritis. I've also embraced what I call temperature training. Each morning when I shower, I end with 30 seconds of cooler, not cold, water. This brief exposure to cooler temperatures activates brown fat cells in your body, which burn energy to keep you warm. It also triggers a mild stress response that strengthens your immune system over time. When I first started, 30 seconds felt like an eternity. Now it feels refreshing, and I've noticed fewer colds and infections since beginning this practice. Another 3-minute ritual I cherish is what I call nature connection. Each day, regardless of weather, I step outside and spend 3 minutes fully engaging with nature, feeling the breeze on my skin, listening to birds, watching clouds move across the sky, smelling flowers or rain-soaked earth. This brief nature immersion reduces stress hormones and blood pressure while boosting mood and energy. On days when I can't go outside due to weather or health, I sit by a window and practice the same mindful observation. I've also incorporated a posture reset ritual. Throughout the day, I set a timer to remind me to check my posture. When it rings, I spend 20 seconds sitting or standing as tall as possible, imagining a string pulling me up from the crown of my head. Then I relax about 10% from that perfect position. This creates good posture that I can actually maintain. Proper alignment reduces strain on your muscles and joints, improves breathing, and even projects confidence to others. Since practicing this ritual, the chronic lower back pain I'd suffered for decades has diminished significantly. Let's talk about sleep, perhaps the most critical factor in maintaining energy as we age. Beyond my evening hand and foot massage, I practice what sleep specialists call sleep hygiene. I keep my bedroom cool, around 65 degrees, completely dark and quiet. I use my bed only for sleep and reading. No TV, no phone scrolling, no worrying about tomorrow's to-do list. I follow a consistent sleep schedule, going to bed and waking up at roughly the same time each day, even on weekends. This regularity strengthens your circadian rhythm, making it easier to fall asleep and wake up naturally. When I started this practice, I noticed improvements in my sleep quality within just 1 week. I've also found tremendous benefit in what I call my joint comfort ritual. Every evening, I use a warm towel to apply heat to any joints that feel stiff or painful. I'll warm a damp hand towel in the microwave for 30 seconds, wrap it around my knee or shoulder, and simply relax for 3 minutes while the heat penetrates the joint. The warmth increases blood flow to the area, reducing pain and stiffness. On particularly achy days, I'll follow the heat with a topical menthol cream for additional relief. One ritual that surprised me with its effectiveness is my breathing breaks. Several times throughout the day, I practice what respiratory therapists call 4-7-8 breathing. Inhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 7, and exhale for a count of 8. This pattern activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your body's rest and digest mode, reducing stress hormones and inflammation. When I first tried it, I could barely hold my breath for a count of 3. Now, after months of practice, I can easily complete the full sequence. And I've noticed remarkable improvements in my stress levels and digestive health. I've also incorporated more playfulness into my daily life. Each day, I spend 3 minutes doing something purely for the joy of it. Whether it's dancing to my favorite music from the 1950s, playing fetch with my neighbor's dog, or coloring in an adult coloring book. This intentional play reduces stress hormones while increasing dopamine and serotonin, neurotransmitters associated with pleasure and satisfaction. Since adding this ritual, I've noticed a significant lift in my mood and overall outlook. Perhaps the most profound ritual I've adopted is what I call my legacy moment. Each evening before bed, I spend 3 minutes writing down one memory, lesson, or value I want to pass on to future generations. Sometimes I write about my childhood during the war, sometimes about meeting my wife, sometimes about professional achievements or personal failures and what I learned from them. I started this practice as a gift for my grandchildren, but it's become an unexpected gift to myself. Reflecting on my life in this way has given me a renewed sense of purpose and perspective. It's helped me see that even at 84, I still have important contributions to make. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not suggesting these rituals will magically solve all your health concerns or replace proper medical care. I still take medications prescribed by my doctor. I still have regular checkups and screenings. These rituals complement, not replace, conventional health care. But what these small practices have shown me is that aging doesn't have to mean constant decline. Yes, our bodies change. Yes, we face challenges that younger people don't. But we also have wisdom, perspective, and time that they lack. We can use these advantages to create lives of continued vitality and meaning. If I could go back and talk to my younger self, the one who thought that turning 80 meant giving up on living fully, I'd tell him that some of my most energetic, purposeful years were still ahead. I'd tell him that small, consistent actions can lead to profound transformations. I'd tell him that it's never too late to become a healthier, more vibrant version of yourself. So I invite you to try these 3-minute rituals for yourself. Start with just 1 or 2 that resonate most with you. Practice them consistently for 2 weeks and notice what changes. Then gradually add others as they feel manageable. Remember, consistency matters more than perfection. It's better to do one ritual every day than to do all of them occasionally. And please, share your experience with others. One of the greatest gifts we can give as elders is to model vital aging for those around us, to show by example that life can continue to be rich and meaningful well into our later years. When my grandchildren say they want to be like me when they get old, I consider it the highest compliment. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I truly believe that if more of us embrace these simple practices, we can transform what aging looks like in our society. We can replace fear and resignation with curiosity and engagement. We can show that the afternoon of life holds its own unique sweetness and possibility. And we can discover, as I have, that even at 84, it's not too late to feel like you're 50 again. Remember, vitality isn't about turning back the clock. It's about making the most of every moment on it. Here's to your health, your energy, and your continued growth, no matter what age you see on your birthday cake this year.